it's Lizzie, and today I'm going to tell you how to have a conversation. And you'd be surprised, a lot of people do not know how to have a conversation. And I guess I understand if you're talking to a person that you like and you think is really hot, then it might be a little scary talking to them, but still, like, you guys have social lives, I don't get it. And a lot of people ask me things like, what should I talk about? And I just wonder, like, talk about anything. So here are some of the comments that people have sent me about this problem. Okay, so the first thing that I want you guys to remember is that a conversation requires two people to be successful. So if you are trying super hard to talk to this girl or this guy and they're not responding back to you in like a positive way, then it's not your fault. So you can't by yourself have a perfect conversation. So if kind of the conversation chemistry isn't there, it's not all your fault, it's kind of their fault too. But to make them feel more comfortable when they're talking to you, you can do several things. The first thing you can do is be comfortable with them, so smile and laugh at it. If they make like a joke or whatever, even if it's a dumb joke, laugh at it. Make eye contact with them to know that you're listening to them, that you care about what they're saying. And have confidence. If you like are like, hey, what's up, and you're not looking at them, and you actually scared, they're not gonna at all think that you're in. They're not gonna all think that you're into them. So act confident and be happy and comfortable around them, so that they get relaxed too, and so that the conversation can happen. Some things that you shouldn't do when you're having a conversation with someone. Some rude things. Don't like sneeze in their face. I mean, I know it's kind of obvious, but like whenever I cough, I go like that and like away from the person I'm talking to. Don't burp. Don't look around like you're talking to them and you keep like glancing around like, I want to leave. That's just kind of like gives them this vibe that you like really don't want to talk to them at the moment. And the other thing is that with eye contact, yes, you want to have eye contact, but if you notice that like you're talking to a guy and he like is like looking away a lot, don't continually stare at him. That's kind of stalkerish. So if they start like looking away a little, then you can start looking away a little and kind of match their eye contact to just make it not awkward and more comfortable for everyone. So there are 3 different types of things that you can talk about. The first is telling some new information. The second is asking a question. And the third is giving your commentary or your opinion on something that everyone knows about. So the first type is sharing news. It's telling someone. So one of the warnings that I have written down is to make it positive. You don't want to come and be like, my cat died last night. Like, go tell it to your best friend. But if you kind of like, if you're trying to talk to this new girl or this new guy who you like, and you're like, my cat died, like, that's not the person to talk to get some grief counseling. Like, talk about something positive. That's just really, really awkward. The other thing that you should not talk about is gossip. You don't want to, if you are like, if you're talking to someone who you potentially want to go out with and you want them to be your boyfriend or girlfriend, and you're like talking bad and behind other people's backs about other people, then they're not going to be able to trust you. I always know that if my friends are talking about our other friends with me, then they talk about me with our other friends. So be really careful with gossip, because it's not good. It's poisonous. And specifically, if you are going to talk about gossip, which I don't recommend, but if you do, don't talk about the opposite gender. If you're a guy, don't talk about like another girl that you thought was hot, or don't like comment on anything that she could take as you're being a player. So just be really careful with gossip, because you don't want to develop any like untrust from that person. If you are a guy or a girl and you're talking to someone of the opposite gender, then there are certain topics that the other gender is going to hate. For example, I'm a girl, and I hate it when guys continually talk about football. Now, if you're talking about like you play football and your team had a game last night, like that's fine. I think that's cool. But if you're talking about some random team, like it's super old, super fast. Like, if you want to be like, oh my gosh, there's a game tonight, but if every single conversation is full of the same sports topic, like that annoys me so much. So that's what, and also video games, like I think video games are stupid. And if you're a girl, write down some topics of comments that you like hate guys talking about, because I know that there's like a lot more that I just can't think of right now. And then with guys, I'm not, if you're a guy, leave a comment below about stuff that you hate girls talking about, because I'm not really sure what you guys hate, but I can assume that like stuff with like fashion stuff, like beauty stuff, shopping, makeup, I don't know, I think that could get kind of boring with guys. So make sure that what you're talking about doesn't seem like insanely boring to guys. Also girls don't really care about like cars and stuff. Like I don't really like that stuff. Again, I think I already touched upon this, but don't be like depressing. Like don't say some really like depressing thing like I have cancer. Like, you know what I mean? Like don't just say some like horrible thing, because that's like too much for them to handle at this point. But also, don't do the opposite of that. Don't be like bragging, like, I got an 100% on my math test this hour. Like, no one cares. Like, shut up. Like, they're just gonna hate you. So don't be careful with bragging. Like, if it's something you're really passionate about, like you did really well in the race, then you can tell them that you had a really good track meet. But I think that like you don't want to like always be bragging. So I guess the whole point here is to kind of not be like continuous with the topics you talk about, to vary them a lot. And also don't be like obnoxious and bubbly. Like if you're telling them something, let them answer, and then if they answer, don't just be like thinking of what you're going to say next. And then don't be bubbly and obnoxious to the point where they can't respond to you. So for example, if you say something and then they respond, actually listen to their response and carry on the conversation from what they said, respond to what they said, rather than just thinking of the next thing you're going to say. So let them also talk too. Don't like completely overbear the conversation. And another thing that I think would make a conversation a lot less awkward is if you had something to show them. Like, for example, I'm on the debate team, so if I was talking to some guy about debate who also was on the debate team, I could like bring out my ballots from the tournament and be like, look, these are my ballots, and I could like read through them. Like, if there was a really funny comment from a judge, instead of just telling him, I could show him, and then it's like, we don't have that like awkward like staring at each other thing going on. So you could show them like a text on your phone that's funny, or like some internet thing you saw, like I don't know what you can show them, but just like random stuff that relates to what you're talking about. That would make the whole like eye contact thing a lot less awkward. Also, if you are, I don't know where you're talking, but if you're like sitting like on either the train to school or from a bus, I guess, if you're sitting like next to them, then you're both looking forward, and that's a lot less awkward. Or if you're sitting like next to each other in class. So if you can avoid being like boom, like set up like face to face, I think it would just eliminate a lot of the awkwardness and kind of nervousness that arises with talking to someone you like. Okay, so the second type of talking is asking questions. Again, you don't want to talk too much, but you also don't want to ask questions too much. You want it to be like a mutual, equal kind of thing. So you could comment on, if you're a guy, you could comment on her jewelry, her outfit, her hairstyle, her makeup. Be really careful at saying, you look really pretty today. Because I interpret that as being, yesterday I was ugly and today I'm pretty. So be like, you're so pretty, or you look so beautiful, or you look so pretty. I don't know, I guess you would say that to your girlfriend. If it's a girl you're not necessarily going out with yet, you could say that you really like her, some piece of jewelry on her, something unique. If you say you like her hairstyle, like most people wear the same hair every day, and if you say you like her makeup, that's going a little too far. Like if she just like colored her hair or like cut her hair, then you could be like, oh, I like your new hairstyle, that's fine. But if she's like updated it differently, like if it's intricate and cute, like you can comment on that. But if I'm just like wearing my hair like this, like why comment on it? That's weird. But I think jewelry is a really good thing to comment on. Like if someone's wearing a really cool like I don't have any jewelry on, really cool bracelet or a really cool ring, then that is something cool to comment on, and then that kind of like, then you can like look at the piece of jewelry and talk about it. But be really careful to not like, if she's wearing a necklace that like goes right to here, don't be like, oh, I like your necklace, because then it's like, why are you looking at my boobs? So be careful to not direct the attention like here, because that just makes her feel really uncomfortable and makes you look like a total creep. So don't, be really careful with that. If you're a girl and you want to comment on the guy, you can say you love his shirt, and my sister actually told me this idea. If he's wearing like a plain white t-shirt, be like, oh my gosh, I love your shirt, and it could be like a joke kind of thing, and then have like it's funny, and it'll like, everyone will be like, it will kind of calm the tension. So if you say something funny, then that works. Don't lie about her physical appearance. Like if you think she looks really pretty, don't just like say that if she doesn't. Find something positive to comment on. Like you don't need to be like, your face is ugly today. But you also don't need to be like, your hair looks gorgeous when she's having a bad hair day, because then she just knows you're lying to her and you're going to lose her trust like immediately. So comment on good things. But like one day if she like forgot to straighten her hair, or she like didn't have time to, or she didn't straighten it, you can say, I really like your hair naturally, it's really pretty. Like I think that's a really good thing to comment on. Or you can be like, oh, is that how your hair is naturally? I really like it, or something like that. Another thing is that you can ask them about something happening that they either told you about before or that you heard. And so the way you could hear things is, let's say you know that your friend is on the soccer team and you hear that they have a soccer game today on like the morning announcements, or from one of your other friends. You could be like, hey, I heard you have a soccer game today. Are you excited? Something like that. Or I'm on the debate team, so we have a debate tournament coming up. So some random guy could be like, hey, are you ready for the debate tournament? And I could be like, no, I'm not. I prepare on Friday night. Not really, but sometimes. But the careful thing here is you do not want them to know you're stalking their Facebook. Like, definitely stalk their Facebook to find out their interests and stuff they like. But don't, like, be like, oh, I read it on Facebook. Because then it's like, why are you on my Facebook? Even though you're friends, like, it's still kind of creepy. But, yeah, like, you can go on Facebook to kind of find out about them, but don't refer to Facebook in conversation. That's just, that's just, like, a no-no. Like, never talk about anything, like, Facebook-esque in conversation. Like, you can talk about a group you joined, but don't talk about, like, a photo they posted or, like, a comment. Like, that's just, like, what happens on Facebook stays on Facebook. So, if you find out something that you want to talk to her about, make sure that you can say that you learned it from somewhere other than you were stalking her or you were, like, listening in on her conversation. You don't want to seem creepy. So the third type of things you can talk about is your commentary. And this is kind of an opinion. And so again, you don't want to, if you've only known them for like a little bit of time and you're not that close of friends, you don't want to get too deep. You don't want to be like, I feel so bad for all the people who died in Japan. Like, if you've known her for a few weeks and you've been talking a lot, then you can say that, but don't like the first conversation make it super, super serious. You want to start off kind of shallow and then get deeper. I think that they always say the two things to not discuss on the dinner table are religion and politics, and I'm like a Christian and I love God and he's like kind of my life, but I'm not going to kind of bring that up in an early conversation with someone. And it's not because I'm ashamed of God or anything, it's just the fact that you don't want to kind of be like a Bible banger person. I actually made a video about this on my Million Voices 13 channel, and the link to the video will be right here. And I talked about how to kind of evangelize to people, because if you meet someone brand new and you're already like slamming God into their face, they're not going to want to hear about it more. You want to do it more out of you're friends with them and you care about them evangelism than you're going to hell, you're a random person but I want to share God with you evangelism. So that's why you shouldn't talk about that. Politics wise, I think that there's a lot of political issues that are kind of funny, like when that person, I love Obama, but when that person yelled, you lie, that YouTube video was hilarious. So you can talk about if they've seen that, or like the Wisconsin thing where all the senators left, like that's hilarious. If they're like ultra conservative and that would offend them, then don't discuss it. But yeah, so there's some political issues that are kind of funny that I think are completely appropriate to discuss. Another thing is like pop culture stuff, like Kim Kardashian came out with this horrible song, and then what's-her-face Black did with her Friday, gotta get down on Friday. I watched the music video once, and it's like literally been stuck in my head. I hate that song. So you can just be like, have you heard that song? Or you could be like, that song is stuck in my head. Just like be like complaining. Like that'd be such a funny thing to say. So talking with a girl or guy you like, it's exactly like talking to your friends. So it's nothing complicated. I know I just made like a 10-minute video, but it really isn't, guys. So don't like psych yourselves out by like freaking out and not knowing what to say and stuff. If you have any further questions about like what to discuss, what's okay to discuss, how to make oh, one more thing, guys. When you're talking to them, I talked about this on my 13 Signs a Girl Likes You video. You want to talk to them, like have your shoulders facing them and your head facing them. And if you're sitting, like have your whole body kind of like facing them instead of sitting like that and talking to them. So if you face your body with them and like lean in, then that just shows that you want to talk to them. Okay guys, I hope this helped a lot of you because so many people have asked me questions, and I guess like the final like wrapping up thing I wanted to say is that you want to keep everything balanced. Keep a balance between you talking and them talking, and different things that you talk about. Don't talk about you too much. Don't talk about video games too much. Don't talk about Obama too much. Don't talk about your cat too much. Be very general and not too conservative and controversial when you're first. Not too, I didn't mean conservative, I meant controversial. Not too controversial when you start off talking to them. You don't want to start off with like false impressions and offending them when you're first meeting someone. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. I would love it if you enjoyed this video, or if it helped you, if you would go right down here and thumbs it up. And if you really loved it and it just like this was like your dying question and then I answered it, then you can favorite it. And also, if you like hearing advice from me and if you want to support my channel, then you can subscribe, I don't know which way, subscribe wherever it is. I'm actually a YouTube partner now, so yay! Okay, thank you again for watching my video, and I will be back in a few days with a new one. Bye!